Previously on Suits to Boots, we did our very first round of crop spraying with our new to us Hardy sprayer, and we prepped the farm so we could leave it for 2 to 3 weeks on our trip out west. In today's video, we'll make some repairs to the truck before leaving for the trip, and when we return, we find our entire river valley underwater. How bad was it on our farm? Oh my goodness. Will our crops survive, or will our entire rookie farming season be over before it barely began? Follow along on a brand new episode of our rookie farming experience here on Suits to Boots. Another thing we gotta do to get ready for this trip is swap a tire out. I'm trying to remember which one I just put this one on. This was the spare. I'm gonna put that tire on this side. We're just gonna swap tire out because one of them wobbles or is out of balance or something, and it vibrates a little bit and it drives me nuts. So we're gonna lift it up and put a different tire on. There we go. All right. This now becomes the spare tire. Oh, look at that. Nice big grease schlop on the arm. Now we just got to test it and see if that fixes the problem. I also got to wash this thing today. The other thing we did before we left was did a quick aerial tour of the crops to make sure everything was looking good and the weeds were dying off from our first spray. For those of you who don't know, I fly a paramotor where I can strap it onto my back, run from the yard right into the sky, and tour the entire property in just a matter of minutes. The next morning, we were up early and ready for our trip, headed to Arizona over 1,700 miles away.
Okay, kids, where are we going?
We are going to Iowa to get a camper.
And then where? We're going to Iowa to pick up a camper, and then where?
Then we're going to Arizona.
Ooh, fun.
Camp it along the way to Arizona.
Camp along the way. Our first stop, though, was to Des Moines, Iowa to pick up our new camper. So we made it to Des Moines, picked up the camper, and stopped at a camping supply store to make sure we had everything we needed to be fully stocked for the rest of the trip. Then, not too far down the road, we found a small little county campground that we could spend our first night in and get used to the camper, get everything set up, make sure we had everything before we finished the roughly 1,300 miles that we had left. I really try to use these opportunities to teach the kids how to do things. Whether it's on the farm or we're on the road, I feel like the more situations I put them in to figure things out and to understand how things work, the more equipped they're going to be as they get older to just be ready for life. We didn't make a lot of stops on the way down and really pretty much drove straight through to Arizona, and it was a long trip, but we were happy when we arrived.
Hey guys, we took a video when we left Minnesota. Now we took a video when we're here.
Only 1,755.1, probably like 760 by the time we're done.
Wow.
1760.
We ready to be there, guys?
Yeah.
No, I want to go back. Yeah.
What if we did just turn around?
8 minutes, Leo. 8 more minutes. Yeah, who forgot something?
Me.
Noah forgot his
forgot my toothbrush.
Yeah.
The first thing, of course, that we always do when we get to the house, no matter how late it is when we pull up, was jump in the swimming pool. The kids are always excited. And of course, in Scottsdale, Arizona, it is almost always perfect swimming weather. The next day was my birthday, so we hit up Top Golf, went go-karting with the kids, and I got to fly the fun little remote control airplane the kids bought me for my birthday. We ended the day with some beanbags and a grill out, and it was a perfect first day in Arizona. Unfortunately, the truck had some issues after we arrived, and I had to take it to the dealership, and it turns out there was some contaminated fuel that went through the system, and it needed some serious work done to it. So we ended up having to fly home, and wasn't ideal to leave the truck in the camper in Arizona, but it did mean we're going to have to go back down again later this summer and pick it up and drive back, where maybe we'll spend some more time in the mountains. As we were getting close to home, we noticed what looked to be a lake, and it's in a place where there should not be a lake close to our home. We heard about some rain as we were gone, but we did not expect this as we got home. We could literally see what looked like small waves on what used to be a bean field. As we got closer to the Root River, which is the main river that runs through the valley in our area, it was totally over the banks and just completely flooded. And so obviously with two rivers on our property, this river and one other, we were very concerned that our entire crops would be underwater and ruined for the year.
Wow.
We stopped to look around at a neighboring farm just to see how bad it was where they were, and it was bad. We're talking the whole valley filled with water. It's flowing pretty fast. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Are those weeds right there?
Those are weeds, and then that's soft right there.
Won't need to be watering anytime soon.
It's looking on the bright side, Noah.
You don't water anyways.
Yeah.
I can.
It's crazy.
Yeah, they don't even have this open, I don't think.
Oh, yeah, otherwise it'd be water.
You'd think it'd be rushing through there, right? Huh.
Did you, like, see this when you were over here?
Yeah, I thought I'd check on it today when I came to get those pellet things. I was like, oh, I'll just check to see how the river's doing. And I was like, oh my goodness. As soon as we got home, we jumped in the Ranger and started checking out the fields. First, we went to the lower bean fields, which are the closest to the river and would have had the most chance of flooding. Everything so far looked dry. It was damp, but it was dry. The beans looked really good. The further up we got, we started to notice some puddles and were concerned that the river ahead was going to be overflowed into the field. But as we came around the bend, all we really noticed was a small puddle in a corner of one of the fields, only damaging a bit of the bean crop. So we lost a little there.
Yeah.
We walked down the path to the river, and it was amazing. It was crystal clear and at its normal height. So it's funny how one river can be flooding and filling up an entire valley of water, while the other river is at perfectly normal levels. Needless to say, we were absolutely relieved to see that there was no flooding in any of our fields. Now that we knew the crops were good, it was time to do our second round of weed spraying. as they had grown up a bit as we've been gone the last couple weeks. All right, well, thanks to everybody for letting me know that I should have worn protective gear, because now I got this sweet face mask for pouring chemicals and a bunch of gloves from a friend, a farmer friend who was worried about me pouring chemicals without gloves. So we got all this protective gear. Okay, so I filled it halfway. Now we got to add chemicals. So gotta find my little cheat sheet. 2.5 gallons, 1 full jug of Panoptix. Why is there only one? Oh wait, no, there's 2 jugs in here. 1 box, 2 jugs. This is where I should have remembered to carry a knife with me, and I didn't. Panoptix. I don't even know what this does, but that's one thing we need to add. Just try to. We need 6 full jugs. Okay, this is Warrant. So I need 15 gallons per batch, would be 6 full jugs. That looks like chocolate milk. I think I'm supposed to be running my agitator while I'm doing this, which like kind of just mixes the water around, but I just don't know. I don't know the right settings for that. I'm just gonna start. This might get loud, so I'm gonna start the tractor and try to figure out the agitator thing. Okay, I think that worked. So now there's like a sprayer inside there that's sucking up the water and spraying it on top. I think that's all I have to do. Flashguard's working, because look at all this shooting back up in my face, so that would have been on my skin. So this is good. that's just from this. Take all this stuff off. Oh, sorry.
Sorry.
That's the foam marker thing. I don't even know if it's gonna work. So, and then this one's for washing your hands. So we fill this just to rinse your hands off in the field if you need to. Now we fill up to 850 gallons, which is the rest of the way, and we should be good to go. The skies cleared out and the rain stayed away, so we were able to get in the field and get our crop sprayed within just a matter of a couple of hours. On our next episode, things get busy on the farm as we start our very first harvest. We get some much needed help and get the chance to play with some really nice equipment. We'll share how it went and if we were able to get the yield we were looking for from our very first crop ever. That's the official first receipt, I guess, is probably what they call it, just for the very first load that we took yesterday. So my very first load as a farmer right there. Subscribe now so you don't miss out on Suits to Boots.